Don't move. I'm not afraid to use this blaster if I have to.
Settle down, kid. We've already lost enough men to those damn rat ghouls. The last thing we need now is more casualties from a needless firefight. By the looks of you, I'd say you're down here for the same reason we are. To salvage something from those downed Republic space pods. Let me give you some advice. Forget about it. Do yourself a favor and just head back from where you came. Mandalorians don't make threats. We make promises. But I'm just trying to give you a friendly warning. This isn't a good place to stand around chatting. The Undercity is crawling with rat ghouls. I've already lost a half a dozen men to those monsters.
Candace, I heard something. Over there, in the shadows. Sounded like a rat ghoul.
Looks like we've got company. Get those blasters ready, boys.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 11 of Let's Play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I have some explaining to do. As you remember in the last episode, I met you, or I left you off in the sewers.
Damn.
And this episode we're starting with a cutscene. So what happened?
Was a bad idea. His men aren't trained for this kind of thing, and I can't babysit them all. Okay, boys. We're getting out of here before I lose anyone else. I can't carry all this salvage back by myself. You'd be smart to get out of here as well. Even if you can handle the rat ghouls, I doubt there's anything worth finding anymore. Davik sent me down here with this motley crew to scavenge whatever we could from the Republic escape pods that crashed during the recent battle overhead. But the lower city gangs got here first. Anything worthwhile in those Republic pods is probably in their hands by now. Davik won't like that. What are you, an off-worlder? Everyone knows Davik. He's a member of the Exchange. You know, the Interstellar Crime Syndicate. Smuggling, gambling, extortion. Davik controls it all here on Taris. That's why I'm working for him. But lately, the lower city gangs have been giving my boss some trouble. This isn't really the best place to have these kinds of conversations. But I guess I could spare a couple of seconds for you. After all, you did help us out with those rat ghouls. The lower city is overrun with gangs, but the two most important ones are the Hidden Becks and the Black Vulkars. Used to be the Becks were the big dog and kept the others in line. But lately the Black Vulkars are moving in on Beck turf and challenging them for control. The Vulkars are even starting to defy Davik. Take these escape pods, for example. Everyone knew Davik would want first crack at them. But I know for a fact those damn Vulkars have already sent their own salvage party down here. Come on, boys, let's move out.
Well, I continued exploring the sewers. After that, in about 10 minutes, I died and I was booted back to the main menu. I had forgotten to say between episodes, so I didn't get to continue from where I left off. So I started exploring, and then I ran into Candace out here in these fields, and I was like, okay, we're gonna go talk to him. As soon as he started approaching me, the cutscene started, I reached over and I hit record. I was originally just trying to get back to where I had left off so I could continue from there, but obviously that didn't work out. I ran into Candace instead, and it's a good thing I did because I found something out here. You'll see it in a little bit when we get done kicking rat ghoul ass. There's a lot of these things out here. I actually, in this video here that I'm commentating right now is like an hour and 15 minutes or something. I recorded for way too long. But whatever. It's all good. Good pile of dead rat ghouls. But I used this opportunity to go back and do a lot of quests. Now that I have Mission with me, I would use this opportunity to go back and do a lot of quests that I had missed because I don't have any skills in things like picking locks. She does, so you can use her lock-picking skills to get into rooms in the apartments and other places that you weren't able to get into earlier. So, and that's exactly what I wound up doing.
Hey there.
They're all gathered around something over there.
Okay.
Now, I was recording. But I forgot to hit record on Audacity, so I'm actually post-commentating this. So this episode and episode 12 will both be post-commentated. I'll just commentate this entire video and split it into two, is what I'll wind up doing. So I hope you guys enjoy that. I think last time I did it, the commentary actually didn't turn out that bad. Outcast Corpse, huh? Oh, Promised Land Journal. We'll definitely want to be returning to the old man in the Undercity and give him that. And then that'll kick off another quest. There's more rat ghouls. These things are everywhere, and there's a guy over here fighting them. Oh, that's a mission. Okay. I had engaged combat with them, despite my being somewhere else. That's great. Thanks, guys. At least we beat him easily enough. And I don't quite get to the swoop bike part, or the part where you're supposed to steal. Nation just fainted. Not that big of a deal. I'm going back to town anyway. But the part where you're supposed to steal the swoop bike part for the hidden Becks, I didn't quite get to that part in this video, which will again be split up into two videos. So this will take care of episodes 11 and 12, and then I'll finally need to record some more. Oh, good news on the Red Faction front. You guys remember that I said I wanted to play through that game on my own because the disc was in shitty shape. I did, and I managed to beat it. It only locked up on me once, so I am capable of playing through the entire game, despite the fact that my disc is in poor shape. So I will be doing a Let's Play of Red Faction at some point. You guys can look forward to that.
I care less about us outcasts, but you risked everything to help those infected villagers. I wish I had some type of reward to give you, but we outcasts have nothing. All I can offer is the gratitude of the entire village.
And she healed us.
Greetings once more.
I think I'm gonna have to start post-commentating episodes toward.
It is as I feared then. She joins the list of those who have given their lives in the service of our cause. But though I am saddened by this news, there is yet hope. By finding my apprentice, you have proved yourself worthy, Upworlder. You are to be the beacon on our path to salvation. You will guide us to the Promised Land. You are marked, Upworlder. Even my dim old eyes can see the mantle of destiny that cloaks you. Perhaps old Rookhill knows you better than you know yourself. I am old. I have lived 100 years in the Undercity, cast down into the darkness. I know the legends and history of our people, and now you must learn it too. The great city of Taris covers the entire surface of this planet. There is no land to grow food. Kelp harvests and the creatures of the sea are our only food source. A century ago, rising levels of toxic pollution poisoned the oceans, and famine swept the planet. The rich hoarded food for their own use, and the poor were left to starve and die.
From what I've seen of Terrace, it doesn't look like much has changed. Except for the upper city, people here are just as bad off as the poor in your little history.
But the poor rose up against this tyranny, and civil war engulfed the planet. Millions died in the fighting, and huge sections of Taris were destroyed or abandoned. The rebellion was crushed in the end. Thousands were taken prisoner. The jails could not hold them all, and so the practice of banishing all prisoners to the Undercity was born. Many brave men and women were banished here to the Undercity for their part in the rebellion. People like my father and grandfather were cast down, along with their families.
What did you expect? If they could get away with it, the Teresian nobles would stuff their own mothers down here to make more room in the upper city.
Now we live a dark existence beneath the streets of Terrace, a life devoid of all hope but one, the Promised Land. And you will be the one to show us the way to get there. Legends tell of a self-sufficient colony founded just before the famine and lost during the Civil War. A paradise beneath the Undercity where droid servants tend to every need. For many years I searched for the Promised Land, just as my grandfather and father did before me. When I became old and gray, my apprentice continued the search on my behalf.
Sounds like a myth to me. Something to give the people here some false hope to cling to so they don't go mad with despair.
I have collected many clues hinting at its location. The journal of my apprentice provides yet more information. But still, there are too many pieces missing from this puzzle. But I know my father and grandfather each had journals where they recorded their own discoveries. Perhaps, with their journals, I could at last uncover its hidden location. Yes, Upworlder. Well done. However, I see that this journal alone does not have enough clues for me to solve this mystery. Too many pieces are still missing. I'm afraid that only with all three journals, my grandfather's, my father's, and my apprentice's, will I be able to discover the location of the Promised Land. I will leave this journal with you for safekeeping for now. Perhaps it will aid you in your search for the others. I wish you luck, Upworlder, for the sake of the entire village.
Ready?
Okay, let's go find this guy's other journal.
Huh?
Yes?
Auto level up. Anyway, I think I might have to wind up post-commentating some of the later episodes in a Let's Play of Red Faction, because it gets pretty tough toward the
He
end.
told you his legends about the Promised Land, didn't he? He told you all about his missing apprentice and the other lost explorers, right? You know, most people don't believe his stories. They figure he's nothing but an old cook. But I think there might be some truth in what he's saying. That's why I want to stop him. For an outcast, I've got things pretty good. The village relies on me to bring in food and supplies. I'm an important man. If it wasn't for Gendar, I'd be running this place.
I get the feeling if it wasn't for Gendar, this place would be a lot worse off than it is.
But if Rukel ever finds his Promised Land, I'm sunk. People won't need to rely on me anymore. I'll just be another nobody like all the rest of the villagers. I won't let that happen. Don't judge me. I learned a long time ago that if I want to survive down here, I've got to look out for number one. The two explorers who went searching for the Promised Land might have found something. They might have found clues or evidence, just like Rukel's apprentice. They would have recorded that information in their journals. I'll pay you if you bring all three journals to me. The two from the explorers and the one from Rukel's apprentice. Then I can destroy the evidence and make sure nobody ever finds the Promised Land. I've saved up enough credits for my business here to make it worth your while if you help me. Don't be a fool! I'm the only one here who can pay you for those journals. Rukel has nothing. He won't be able to come up with any kind of reward. Once you have all three journals, just bring them to me and I'll give you a decent reward. Now, was there something else you needed? Yeah, okay. You'll come back and see me if you want a deal.
This guy is self-centered slime. Anyway, it gets really tough toward the end because you start fighting mercenaries instead of guards, and the mercenaries have more powerful weapons that can kill you a lot faster, even when you are at full health and have full armor. And they are heavily armored, so a lot of it takes a lot more to kill them than it does the typical guard. Their AI is basically the same as the guards, but they are more numbered and they are tougher to kill, so it gets a lot tougher. Let's go find Zalbar, shall we? And the last journal, because we need to find one more. But yeah, you can look forward to that eventually. I will be Let's Playing Red Faction at some point in the future, and I'm actually pretty well looking forward to it. It'll be a little while because I just got done playing through it on my own, and because this game is fairly long, you probably noticed that we're 10 episodes in, we haven't even left the first planet yet. Here I am saving as a precautionary measure. I should do this more often. We haven't even left the first planet yet, and yeah, I haven't found Bastila yet. Got a long way to go. Still a ways to go on this particular planet, because once we find Bastila, we're not done here. We still have to find a way to get through the Sith blockade and off the planet. Ooh, that's not good. Obviously, that's where I left you guys off last time. Skeletal corpse. Could always use more credits. Gamorrean patrol. Let's go kill this pig. I can't imagine Gamorreans are very nimble. I mean, they're big. They're really big. Probably very strong, though. I would imagine. Probably good fighters, but not exactly the fastest race in the galaxy. Still, they're in my way. I'll mow them down. Enemy sighted. Way to go. We probably have enough repair parts to repair that entire thing, but I don't really need to. I don't do that too often and save my repair parts. I mean, you can buy repair parts usually. There's a couple of droids we're going to get in our party later, and one of them might be the best character in this game. He's funny, he's witty, he's kind of a dick, but in an entertaining way, so you'll see what I mean. If you haven't played this game before, you'll see what I mean. We'll have, I think, 3 more characters we need to pick up after we leave this planet. We'll get the first droid before we leave this planet, and it's not the funny one that I just mentioned. It's another one we've already seen, actually, in the droid shop.
No computer codes or nothing. The sewers is the only place you'd see one of these on Terrace. You can't use conventional security spikes on these old locks. But don't worry. I've come across them before. I've rigged up a little device that should do the trick. I'm glad to see you too, Big Z. You didn't think I'd forget about you. Mission in Zalbar, together forever. These are my new friends, Big Z. Without them, I could never have got you out. A life debt? You sure about that, Big Z? Think about it carefully. You better be sure about this. life debt to you? Wow, this is major. Do you realize what it means? A life debt is the most solemn vow a Wookiee can make. It means he'll stay by your side for the rest of your life. Wherever you go, whatever you do, Zaalbar will be with you. I guess this means you're stuck with me, too. Wherever Big Z goes, I'm going. I almost lost him once. It's not gonna happen again. So, I guess I still owe you one secret path into the Volker base. That was the deal, wasn't it? Don't worry. I know a back door into that scum den. I better come with you. The Volkers put up a force shield to keep the sewer dwellers out. I'm one of the only non-Volkers on Terrace who can get you past it. I can't remember exactly how to get there, but I know it was somewhere here in the sewers. Over to the northeast, if I remember right. I just hope the Rancor monster isn't still there. There used to be a Rancor monster that made its nest in that part of the sewers. Pretty much eats anything it can get its claws on. That thing is huge! Luckily, Rancors aren't too bright. I was able to sneak past it before, so I'm sure we'll figure something out. That is, unless you want to change your mind. Okay then, off we go. Like I said, somewhere to the southeast. Just look for the force shield, and we'll know we're there.
Okay, we now have 4 people in our party, and we can only have 3 in our party at a time when we're traveling around. So I'm going to go with Mission and Karth for now. And I just gained a level. Can somebody get this walking carpet out of my way? I mean, we got a Wookiee. We have to reference that now, don't we? I do not remember what skills I get in this particular level up, but it's been several days since I last played the game. I recorded like 6 episodes worth of material in a row, actually. Anyway, I was talking about Red Faction. Yeah, it gets difficult toward the end. I mean, you go through a place called Sniper Alley, and that's basically exactly what it sounds like. You have a bunch of people sniping you from high above, and there are ways to sneak around parts of it, but you're going to deal with some of that, and that's never fun, you know? Never fun to do that. And that's toward the end of the game. The last stretch of the game doesn't have much in the way of health pickup, so you have to go through a long stretch of the very end of the game where you just don't get much in the way of health. Now, there are a bunch of fights that you can just totally skip, so that's helpful, and I actually did that in my Let's Play. I didn't fight everything. That door's malfunctioning. In my playthrough of it, I mean. I didn't fight every single enemy, and I got to the final boss with like 40 health and maybe 50 armor, which really isn't that much, and there's nothing to help you out at the final boss. Nothing at all. Let's kill these Gamorrean. There's absolutely no health, no anything. But I ran across a glitch, and I'll probably explain this when I play it back. There are rafters you can climb up to, and if you climb up to a certain rafter, the final boss just stops moving and stops firing at you entirely, and I was hoping that that would blow up the rat ghouls, and it didn't. I am disappointed. She just stands there and she has an energy shield that you have to take down. And once you take that energy shield down, she starts moving again. But for that phase of the boss, it's easy. You just climb up there, and she stands there and takes it in the teeth for a while. And then you get to a much more difficult part of the boss because she can kill you very, very quickly. But you should have weapons at that point that allows you to kill her very, very quickly. Look at that. We're at 6 hours of gameplay now. And I played for almost an hour after this, so we're looking at 9 to 10 hours on Taurus alone. But it's fine. I could be getting through this game a lot faster if I was skipping all the dialogue, but I don't want to, because the dialogue is a large part of why this game is so good in the first place. The dialogue choices, it's well written, it's well acted, and it tells a very, very good and compelling story. Even the lesser parts of it, the side quests and whatnot, tell interesting stories in this game. Let's see if Mission can disable this.
Ready? Sure.
And she can. Awesome. So that's good news. Mission can do that too. She's useful. Actually, you'll run across quite a few characters in this game. You'll be able to switch back and forth between. All of them are cool. All of them have their own personalities and backstories and everything. And we just ran into one of them. You saw Canderous Ordo at the very beginning of this episode, the Mandalorian. He is one of the potential party members in this game. And you'll see how we wind up running across him again. We have not seen the last of Canderous Ordo. And then there's a droid in the droid shop that we'll eventually acquire as well before we leave. And obviously Bastila. Obviously we're going to run into Bastila at some point. That's the whole point of this particular section of the game, is get Bastila, get off this planet. And boy, do we have to do a lot of stuff just to reach Bastila. I mean, we're putting a lot of work into just reaching her. Who knew we would have to go to such great lengths? But hey, she's in the hands of a swoop bike gang, and we got to go to the Undercity to be able to sneak into the base and get back to the Upper City. So she's a prize in a swoop bike race, and we're gonna have to win that. Probably get some decent money doing that too. I also want to go back to the cantina before I do the swoop bike races to fight another round or two. See if I can. I mean, I've gained a couple levels, so I should be good. And I want to go through that and do that. Should be fun. The layout of these sewers can be a little bit repetitive. Actually, that's fairly true for a lot of this game. But it's a 2003 Xbox game. That was kind of the deal back then. You did that to save space, you know? And that was actually fairly commonplace at the time. A lot less commonplace nowadays because you have more powerful hardware and larger disc. Obviously, you got Blu-ray where you can put 50 gig of data onto a dual layer Blu-ray for a PlayStation 3 game, and I mean, as of right now, you shouldn't need any more of that, and they are using more than that. I don't know why. You have to frequently install games, and I hate that in consoles. Like, play my console like a fucking console. I want to put my game in and be able to play it right away. I don't want to have to install it and do 15 updates because you didn't finish your damn game before you released it. I'm looking at you, Ubisoft. Because at this point, they're fucking notorious for it.
You amaze me. I wish I had some time.
I'm gonna go heal first. Need healing. Yeah. Assassin's Creed was released in such a broken state.
Have you found the journals of my father and grandfather? true? Is it possible that at long last, the dream of my father and grandfather before him will be fulfilled? I can hardly bear to look. Yes, of course. Now I understand. It all makes sense. Now I see why the Promised Land has been so hard to find. It is so obvious. You have done a great thing, Upworlder. A selfless act that will bring great joy to all the people of this village. I must take this to Gendar right away.
Frukill, what do you want now? Have you more fables of a hidden paradise just waiting for us to find it?
You may not think these are fables after you see what I have brought you, Gendar. Look at these journals.
What? No, it can't be. Are these real, Frukill? Is this information accurate?
I swear to you, everything in these journals is true, Gendar. The Promised Land. I told you I would find it.
The entrance is far from here, Frukill. It will take us weeks to get there, perhaps even months. And we will have to cross many Rakghoul-infested areas.
I do not deny the journey will be hard, Gendar. But surely it is better than the miserable life we have here.
Wise words, Frukill. Our supplies are high right now. We could leave by nightfall. I will tell the others to prepare for the journey.
Thank you once again, Upworlder. I will say a final goodbye. For where we are going, I fear you cannot come. The journey to the Promised Land is long and arduous. No, Upworlder, I cannot ask that. The journey will take many, many weeks, and those who make the journey cannot return. That was the final secret of the Promised Land. When the colony was created, it was designed so that people could enter willingly, but they could never leave again. This was to ensure secrecy on the project. We must part ways here, Upworlder. I sense your destiny is yet to be chosen, but the destiny of my people is at the end of the long journey ahead of us.
Okay, so we helped those people out. Hopefully they'll be able to get to their destination with, despite the Rakghoul infestation. I would worry about Frukill because he's 100 years old, and that's pretty old to travel a long way on foot. So good luck to you all. You don't have much in the way of any kind of vehicle down here in the Undercity, so that's going to be a tough, especially getting through Rakghoul infested areas. And now the Undercity is just empty. This is where I return back to the base, and then I'm going to start doing a whole bunch of side quests, as I recall. So that's fun. I think I visit the workbench too, but I don't remember off the top of my head. Okay, we got Zalbar. Got to level him up. He leans more toward light, so we will get characters that don't necessarily later on in the game. See what we can equip him with. All that nothing. Let's give him a couple of blasters. No, I want to give him 2 weapons. Twice the stopping power, if you will. There we go.
Yes?
Okay, let's go. What is that? This is something I overlooked a long time ago. Low security door. Let's get Mission out and have her open a security door. See what's up.
What?
Yeah, do that shit. And barge into this lady's room.
What are you doing in here? can't barge
Hello,
into
dear.
someone's home. That's no excuse. You can't just go around barging into people's apartments because you're curious. But at least you're more polite than that pig Holden. Just one of Darvik's men who can't keep his hands to himself. But all he got for his trouble was a nasty scar from my vibroblade. Too bad I'm the one still paying the price. I don't want to talk about it. I'm in enough trouble already. Besides, I don't know if I can trust you. Well, I suppose you seem like an all-right sort. When I cut Holden, it made him back off, but it also embarrassed him in front of his friends. Holden's a spiteful little hut slug. He went and put out a bounty on my head for what I did. That's why I'm hiding out here. I doubt it. Holden is one of Darvik's men. When you work for the local crime lord, the authorities tend to turn a blind eye. I'm afraid this is between me and Holden now. Could try, I guess. He usually hangs out at the cantina in the lower city. It probably won't do any good. Holden's used to getting his own way. That's one of the fringe benefits of being a goon for Darvik. Working for the local crime lord lets you get away with things. Still, I appreciate the offer. I can't help you there. Since this thing with Holden, I've been scared to leave my apartment. I don't know anything about what's going on in the outside world anymore. Goodbye and good luck. I hope you can talk some sense into Holden.
Okay, so we need to go talk to Holden for Dia at some point. Let's continue exploring. What was I saying? Oh, Assassin's Creed Unity was released in such a broken state, and it wasn't the only one. I mean, last year was a bad year for AAA releases.